some people want a race war. This is not what we want. I don't think it's what we want, because nobody wins a race war. If you have white people, black people, brown people, who wins that? Like, because it's just like a never-ending thing. The solution, in my opinion, to the problem and the disconnect between the police and citizens, it's not simple, but it is. The solution is this: any police investigations, shooting, assaults, these type of things need to be handled on a federal level. The internal structure of the police department that the officer works at, I don't think can accurately do the investigation. So if there's a shooting or something, or a major beating, I think that needs to be handled on a federal level by people who do not interact daily with that officer. And I think that we do need better training for the officers, but I also think that we as citizens have to take it down a notch when we're interacting with the police. Now, police have to understand that it's a nervous situation for us, having contact with the police. So you're agitated, maybe not agitated is the wrong word. You're elevated and a bit anxious, the police officer, when interacting with somebody, because you don't know what they have, what they're going to do, what's their mindset. You don't know any of that, right? And then we're nervous just from having contact with the police. So people always talk about the officer feels like he's in danger, or the officer feels this. But I don't think enough talk happens about the citizen, the civilian. They're nervous also. So sometimes, you may give a command and maybe they move slow, or maybe it's dragged out. That's because they're a bit nervous as well. So I think if everybody takes it a step back, I talked about this last week. So I got pulled over for a taillight that was out on my car. And obviously, 9 times out of 10, your taillight, you don't know that it's out. It's not like it's the headlight. It's a taillight. So I didn't know that the light was out. I thought it's so crazy because one of the gentlemen who just lost their life was pulled over for the taillight, right? So I got pulled over for the taillight. So I didn't really talk about the police interaction. While he was running my license, I did a quick, live about it. But I didn't go into it. So I want to talk a little bit about my interaction with the police officer. So I've had a lot of interaction with police over the years. This was the model interaction. Like, this is the exact way that it's supposed to go. He came over to the car, and like I said, I didn't know why he pulled me over. I didn't run a light. I wasn't speeding. I didn't know why he was pulling me over. So he pulls me over. He comes to the window. I roll the window down. Actually, the window was already down. And so he comes over to the car. So he introduces himself. He's like, "My name is Officer blah 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 from the Baltimore City Police Department. Do you know why I pulled you over?" That's what he said, which threw me off because that was very polite. And so I said no. I didn't know why he pulled me over, and that's where I want to stop it right there. The way that he came to the car, that's the way that it's supposed to go. Because what makes people, pissed off is they don't, especially if they don't know why they got pulled over, is, we need to address the why you've stopped me immediately, not just come over and say license and registration. When they instantly come over with that license and registration stuff, then some people want to know, well, why you want to see my license and registration? Why'd you pull me over? Why? And depending on how you gave that why, well, the officer's going to give you back something else, and if the officer doesn't have a good reason for pulling you over, then they're going to, give you attitude and try to get the license from you because they don't know why they pulled you over. They're just trying to, maybe they're just messing with you, right? And so, so my friend Greg, one of my childhood friends, so he says that I got pulled over because, I guess the car I was driving, and they just want to, put your license through and see what's going on, and that may be sometimes maybe what it is. But assuming that all your, everything is on the up and up and your license is good, your tags are good and all that kind of stuff. I think if the officers can instantly identify themselves and get right to why we got pulled over without attitude early, I think that can minimize some things. But in the instance where, you had the gun carrying gentleman and he's saying, I have the permit and that whole thing, that's just like a crazy thing. So going back to me, my license, so, he told me, why he pulled me over. He asked for the license and registration. I gave him the registrations in the glove box. Now, my license was in my bag, computer bag, which was in the trunk of my car. So I told him my license is in my bag, which is in the trunk. And he said, you can get out and get it. And he said, I'll show you that your taillight is out. So whatever, I gave him the license. Taillight's out. Okay, taillight's out. Get back in the car. And it took him a long time to run my license. Like, I didn't understand why it took so long. So it took a long time. I did a little video while I'm waiting. I still was waiting. I did like a 50-second video, still waiting, some more time, listened to a couple songs, still waiting. He finally comes back and he says that, whatever, he gave me the little repair order, right? So he said, you ever had a repair order before? I said, no, never. What do I do? So, we go through that whole thing. He says, grab the bulb, go to DMV or, get somebody to sign off on it. Cool, fine, nice. And so that part was cool. Now, I thought about it, and I said, so he said, if you don't do that, it's going to cost this, blah, 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 you got to pay that, whatever. So I'm going out of town. I'm going to Atlanta. And I was actually glad that I got pulled over here as opposed to getting pulled over, on my way to Atlanta or actually in Atlanta, because that would have been a whole headache. Maybe I wouldn't have got a warning. Maybe it would have been a ticket. It's just, whatever. So he says that, it is good because we, officers, target out-of-state tags. He said, we zoom in on those. And so he said, you probably would have got pulled over. And so that was an interesting thing for me. And maybe people already know this. And I guess I did know that. But it was good to have that, reinforced. So out-of-state tags, they already going to be checking, what are you doing? He's not from around here, and that whole thing. So if we could just have the interactions with the police and civilian citizens, if everybody could just bring it down, that means the officers need to bring it way back. You need to bring it way back. And this is the biggest thing, if you feel the need to discharge your weapon, I don't understand why it has to be shoot to kill. Why can't it be shoot to slow down? Why can't it be shoot to just get them to stop? Why does it have to be shoot to kill? If they could just stop with that part. Because once you pull a gun with somebody, once you discharge the weapon, right? They're gonna, whatever they were doing, they're gonna at least have to stop to if it was the shot in the leg, they're gonna stop and grab the leg, look at the leg, ow, that whole thing. And then you can, detain them, arrest them, put the cuffs on them if that's what you gotta do. I don't understand 16 shots or 4 shots or 40 shots or unloading the clip. I don't understand why you're shooting somebody in the chest or in the head. The leg, to me, is fine. And if you're tussling with somebody and you shoot them in the somewhere, just to shooting to kill is just like something that you do when you're at war. And we are not at war. It's supposed to be protect and serve